All right. And boom. We good to go. We good to go. What's going on, everybody?
It was good.
Um, what's going on? I got my man Ruben here with me. Another contributor, another author to the book, the upcoming book project. I love you. Letters of love from black men to black boys. Another live stream. Again, like I said, I'm going to try to get all the authors on here to really share their perspective of where they were coming from when they wrote the letters. They're passionate about helping the youth, mainly black boys, and just a few different other things, really to catch up and chop it up to really give you guys some insight. But like I said, I have my man Ruben here with me, and yeah, we're gonna just dive into a quick little conversation while we have the time in. And first and foremost, I just want to say, Ruben, I appreciate you. Making some time today. It's Friday. I appreciate you taking the time out so we can just get this live in, and so people can really know who you are and hear more about your contribution to the book, because you wrote some really dope stuff when I was
Uh,
reading through your letters. And I always try to imagine, like, out of all the authors, out of all 12 of you, I'm like, all right, what were they thinking about? Who are they speaking directly to?
yeah.
And the best thing for me to do is just talk to you and be like, yo, who are you speaking directly to? So just real quick, give everybody just a little background of yourself for people that may not know you. I know a lot of people do know you though, at least my audience.
Yeah, my name is Ruben Stewart III. I'm a father, a husband, been married for 10 years. And I'm a community, I guess a community activist, you could say. I try to get active in the community and help out in any way I can.
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. That was my phone, my fault.
It's all good. But yeah, so I, to get to the question that you asked, I was writing to like my younger self and to like younger men
Really?
that might be in my similar position. I grew up without my father in the home, so my mom had to raise me primarily by herself. So
Hmm.
she did a great job, but there were questions that she didn't really have the answers to because she was a female and you
Hmm.
needed that male point of view. So to the young men, I tried to provide them with, I guess, a guideline to just let them know like things might be hard now, but these are the things that you can become if you put yourself in the right mindset.
Nice.
That was
Was
kind
there
of
a certain not to cut you off, because you said you was writing to your younger self. Was it a certain like age or a certain time in your life that you were particularly like talking to?
yeah. I tried to point towards that. Usually the toughest times between that 8 to I guess that 8 to 12 and that 12 to 13 range, like what we were aiming for, and just when you gotta kind of start making those tough decisions. Like your friends might want to go do something negative, but inside you're hesitating. But at the same time, that influence hits you, and it's like, I know I shouldn't go throw rocks at cars, but if I don't, then I might be looked at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do it anyway. So I was trying to talking to that kid that's out there right now that might need that extra reassurance, like
Okay.
positive reinforcement, because as we know, growing up where we grew up, it's like you get a lot of negative reinforcements all day, so it's easy for you to just do negative. But with this
Hmm.
book, like I'm just so happy because we all got to come together and be transparent with them and let them know, like, look, you do have a choice, and it might not feel like it at that age with that peer pressure kicking in, but reading
Yeah.
these words in the morning or in the afternoon, it'll give you letting them know that we're here. Like I said, one of my letters, I'm like, it's a group of us, and we're getting more and more every day to help out because we know the problem is that big. So just have faith and just reach out and just try to stay positive, even though the world might feel like it's coming to an end. It's really not.
Yeah, and that's powerful, because I did very similar work when I was working on some of my letters. I
Mm-hmm.
was speaking directly like to myself at a younger
Yep.
age, and I started thinking about times where things were rough and I didn't feel as though I had an outlet or anyone to really pour into me like I actually needed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was literally like sitting down with the younger version of myself, having an intimate conversation and just really like pouring into myself. And it felt like a healing process all within that. It was like that younger
Yeah.
version of myself, really embraced what I was sharing as the 30-year-old version of myself and was
Yep.
like, thank you. And it was
Yep.
like, man, it was a freeing process in what I wrote. So I like what you said, because it was, like I said, it was very similar in my mindset of what I wrote um, towards myself. Most of it was me talking directly to me,
Yeah.
and I think that that's powerful.
Exactly. Yeah, I felt the same exact way. It's like just writing it in itself, just seeing it and reading it after, it was like a liberating process because I'm like, wow, like these are things that I never told anybody, not even to
Mm.
myself. It's like now sharing it with the world and giving it, basically those shared experiences, giving it back. It really it felt good to do it. Like I thank you for allowing me to be a part of the process. As I said
Ah,
before,
man, look, that
it's
was.
very liberating. And then
I
know
was
that some other kid is gonna get this knowledge and these messages. It's like it's powerful, man.
That's the huge part, and I don't know if I shared this with everybody. I might have. I don't know who checked the message or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
one young lady, she purchased, her nephew's in prison, and
Nice.
she purchased the book for him. Like she pre-ordered a book for her nephew in prison. I'm just like, man, to think that the words you shared, once the final product is out, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to go to somebody and speak life into them. Somebody that's behind bars, and you're sharing those words. Like I didn't realize that even when in the process of doing it, until she said it, like I'm pre-ordering this for my nephew. He's in prison. I'm gonna send this to him. I really think it'd be great for him. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, and I absorbed. I'm like, yo, these dudes don't even realize, like the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that they
Impact.
said, the stuff they poured in, the impact is going to be incredible, and it's going to touch lives that we're not even thinking about. Right? I think about this when somebody buys the book, and years from now, somebody else gets a hold of it, and they pass it on to somebody else. Like, yo, check this book out.
Uh-huh.
Like I think like, yo, this can go on for such a long time because it's physical. It's a book. You can pass this down. It can be at book giveaways, all types of stuff, and it's going to have that type of impact. And it just started from us being courageous, stepping up to the call, and being obedient.
Yeah.
And man, it's
Yeah.
just it's such a gratifying feeling to know that all of you brothers contributed in such an amazing way and like showed up with excellence. And really, not only that, but you didn't try to be something you weren't. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I sit down and read everybody's thing is so unique to them. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is his personality all in this thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's a beautiful thing, seriously. And I'm excited. So I want to ask you this. Where were you, I guess, at mentally? Like, what was your thoughts initially when I was like, yo, hey, man, I want you to be a part of this project. I've been praying on it. I think you'll be great for whatever. Where were you at mentally? Like, what were your initial thoughts when I, went to you with that offer? Like, hey, man, look, this is what's on my heart. I don't know what you think about it, but I would
Mm-hmm.
love for you to be a part of this thing.
I was excited, but then at the same time, it was like this is kind of heavy because it's like what it's so much. It's so much you could say. You know what I mean? And you want to make it relatable,
Hmm.
but at the same time, you want to be authentic to who you are. So when you first let me
Yeah.
know, we were doing a family conference then, so I was already in a helping state of mind.
Yeah, that
So
was
I
a
was
good that
happy
was a good
about that.
conference too.
Yeah, so I was happy about that. So I'm like, oh, this would be great. It's like, but then when I sat down to write it, it's like, okay, now what? Like, what do you say? Because I'm like, I've never been like an author. We all had our book of rhymes or poetry that we did growing up. But to
Hmm.
actually sit down and like write something that other people are gonna read, like you said, live forever. It's like it was like a little bit. It was a little bit of challenge. I wrote like the
Yeah,
first two letters, and then after that, I'm kind of got like stuck. Like, okay, now what? What do I say? Then I thought about it. Like, tell your truth. So that's what I
tell your
did.
truth.
Yeah,
Tell your
tell
truth.
your truth.
And I was trying to relay that to everybody. I'm like, yo, I don't know, because they're like, yo, what's the style? Like, how should I'm like, I don't know. Like, just speak from
Yeah.
your place, because that
So
was
that's
my
what I thought.
challenge. I'm like, man, I don't want to be corny or try to be, over motivating. As like, I need to speak some truth in this stuff.
Yeah.
And
So
that was the reason behind having so many different gentlemen that I really looked up to and different things like that. And I really was like, man, these dudes is great because each of you have such a different truth. Because originally I told people the story before, I was
mhm.
going to write the whole book myself.
Yeah, I remember you
I
told
was
me.
going to do like 60, 70 letters myself. And I was like, that's a lot, first of
Yeah.
all. But then I was like, yo, this isn't about me.
Yeah, it's big.
That's why I'm not on the cover. It's not about me. This is much bigger than that. This is just a tool. I was sharing on the live yesterday with AJ. Like, this is just a tool and a resource, right? To really get the movement going and really actually make some change, because we both are individuals, and the other individuals that are in this project, they're all real change agents. Like, y'all really out here doing the work that people aren't willing to do, like really
Mhm.
stepping up to the call. And here's the thing, nobody's forced y'all to do it. This is like from my heart. I'm going to
Yeah.
do this thing because I remember how it was when I was younger or when I was going through my go through, and I want to make
Mhm.
sure that I can give them a bridge to success.
Right.
So that's a huge part of it. So I guess my next question is, because that's where you were originally. How
Mhm.
have things like transitioned now? You know, after once we started writing the book, which was took us a few months to really get things going. We had
Yeah.
a lot of different things happen throughout that time with a lot of different murders and different things in the media, and then you know, most recently we had some shootings and some different things like that of,
Mhm.
you know, black men being killed, um, right on social media, on TV, like out of control stuff. And obviously, COVID plays a part in all of this as well with people's sanity and mental health. So, how have you been, um, you know, during that process? And like, how are you now? You know, how are you mentally now? How are you processing things now? How are you progressing?
It's been tough because of where we are right now. Like you said, the state of the world is just, I don't think our minds are strong enough to process all of the different things we have going on. So
Hmm.
I started going back to therapy. So I'm in therapy right now. So that's been helping out tremendously. I recommend anybody that feels like down or feel like you just need someone with an unbiased opinion to vent to. Because in
Hmm.
reality, when you go to therapy, you're talking, and as you're talking, they're just helping you sort out your own ideas, and they're just basically there to guide you, not really there to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. So
Yeah.
that's been helping tremendously because if it wasn't for that, it's like it's so much to put on your spouse or just to keep inside. Because as more, like you said, like I love one of your podcasts was like the strong friend. It's like I'm always a strong friend. Nobody checks up on the strong friend. So to
Mm.
be able to have an outlet for it just helps you out a lot. And the other part, with everything going on, I feel like the book is needed now more than ever. It's like
Likewise.
everything I've seen, like the news, like you said, I saw it was like the 13-year-old boy a couple weeks ago got caught with a stolen car, gun in the bag. Life is over. One mistake. 13-year-old
Mm.
gun in the bag, hollow point bullets in the gun.
Wow.
They're gonna throw them away. And it's like
Yeah.
to me that's unacceptable. It's like when the kid goes into the criminal justice system, it's a failure on society on all levels. That should never get to that point. So you're thinking of a 13-year-old who barely knows anything about life. Now he's putting into these grown men situations where he's making the wrong choice every time because most grown men don't make the right choice.
That's a
So this
fact.
to me, this book is gonna give children like that, the ones that are, in between that stage, that fighting that duality between being themselves and going along with the crowd. Like just having these words reach out to them from someone who's been through it. It's like, look, I'm someone, and I told him in the book, I said, I'm someone you can reach out to. I'm here. All of us are. We're all that way.
Hmm.
I'm like, we're not just authors that are just gonna walk by, sign a book, and just say, good luck with your life. I'm like, we're here. We're doing the work, and we're in
Yeah.
the community. So I feel like this book can help
Yeah. Yeah.
be so profound for like those children, and then the mothers. I know it's like they're struggling right now. A
Oh,
lot of
facts,
us,
bro.
we're not doing our part as much as we should, and some of it is to our own, own doing, and others is just the system is just corrupt, and we know that. But we have to fight against it, and this book to me can be used as a tool for those mothers, those uncles, those aunts, the ones that feel like they can't. Their sons, they're speaking to their sons, but they don't hear them anymore because
Hmm.
at that age where your mom was talking, but you weren't really listening because
Oh, yeah.
that relatability factor kind of goes away. It's like, mom, you don't understand. Like I'm a man, and at some point, yes, you're gonna respect your mother and you listen to what she has to say, but those words don't hold as much weight as they would coming from a mentor or a father or uncle. So this book is gonna give those children who might not have those people in their lives an opportunity to have 12 new uncles or 12 new older brothers,
Yeah.
12 figures that are giving you the real. It's like we
Real.
didn't write a bunch of cupcake letters. We wrote life. Like I wrote what I experienced and what I want you not to experience, as
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
as tools and just different things that you can do to just help fight against that. Those evils. I guess.
Nah, that's real, and that's so real because it's a guide, man.
Yes.
It's like we're not on this so we can, you know, try to be on TV or be signing signatures. If it, you know, if it ever comes down to that, that's cool. But the
Yeah.
mission is the mission, and
It's
that's to
about the work.
empower, you know, young black boys and males in general. You know what I'm saying? Just to empower and inspire.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really that guy, like you said, you about to get all these new uncles and mentors on the spot,
And we're
like that
here.
quick, where we speak in life, and the diversity and everything is what's great because there's something in there for everybody.
Definitely.
Whether you're the young kid, you know, the adolescent, whether you're the teenager, even if you're the young adult, there's something in there for you, and there's somebody speaking directly to you. Because here's the thing: just because you age in years doesn't mean you age in maturity. You know what I'm
No,
saying? You can
at
still you
all.
can be 25 years old, but these letters speaking directly to you
Hmm.
because your 13, 14-year-old self, you haven't grown out of that.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I
you
know you can't heal what you don't reveal. So a lot of us are suffering in silence. I
hmm
feel like this book will give those young kids a chance to ask those questions and just to feel like you're not the only one going through this.
yeah, and
People at
like
that
I
age,
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't felt like all your friends are all going through the same things, but nobody speaks on it because they don't want to be the only one to feel like to have that feeling. But this gives them an opportunity to just open up and just be honest.
Yeah, no, that's for real. And I think it's a beautiful thing to see, men, prominent men, successful men stepping up and being vulnerable because it's not
Uh,
normal.
no, yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely not.
saying? And
Yeah,
I'm
you got
really big on, change what we normalize, and what we're seeing in this book isn't normal. And it's one of those things of like, why is it not normal? If we
yeah,
need love so bad, why is this not a normal thing between us? So the fact that we're stepping up and being bold at a time like this, oh man, and we're
yeah,
showing them what this looks like. You know what I'm saying? Stepping up, being the trailblazers in this space of like, look, we're gonna normalize this thing and we're gonna make that pipeline to success. I think it makes it huge, man. It makes it huge. And again, I'm in awe, and I'm just extremely grateful for each one of you for really stepping up to the call, because it's what made this thing really come to life. And again, the book is a resource. This is the guide. This is
uh-huh.
the guide that I know I wish I had growing up.
Me
But then
too.
it's also a resource that goes right into everything else with the movement. Like, it doesn't stop here with the book. I've been saying this the whole time. It doesn't stop here with the book. It goes into conferences. It goes into mentoring. It goes into trainings. It goes into investing in the youth in any way that we can,
Hmm.
right? And that's the mission of it all, man. So I'm just, again, grateful that we're doing this, and excited, excited because we stepped up and we were bold during this time. And the crazy thing is that even before the climate that we're currently in now, especially for Black men and boys, God had already placed this on
Yeah,
my spirit to do this. So like I told you, I was already working on this when I presented it to y'all. It was a minute ago. Like, it was a
uh-huh.
minute ago I was talking about this, and it's like, man, okay, God, I'm listening now. This,
Yeah,
this is the time. This is what I was preparing each one of you for. And
mhm.
I'm just excited for that, man. And just to hear, I think my audio's a little crazy, but let me see. I don't know. Audio sound a little crazy, but just to hear that, your mental health is doing well is a huge thing, because I too go to the therapist. I
Yeah,
tell people that now. I'm like, man, look, that's a normal thing for me.
uh-huh.
And it's not in the sense of I'm about to have a nervous breakdown, but it's maintenance.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to make sure my oil is getting changed,
Hmm.
so it's maintenance, and it's something that we also need to normalize as well. Having those conversations, being okay with seeing a therapist, and not feeling like we're crazy because of that. The
Yeah,
reality is we crazy if we don't go with the help.
definitely. If it's
So
there.
it's time for us to normalize it, man. But I'm gonna leave it at there for today. Again, I really appreciate you, bro. You really wrote some amazing, amazing, amazing letters, and I can't wait for people to get this book in their hands, especially the young man that's in the prison, man.
Uh-huh.
Really, really excited for him to read those letters.
Yeah, me too.
Really,
Like I
really
said
excited
before,
to see the impact.
yeah, thank you for the opportunity and allowing me to
Mhm.
be a part of the book. I can't wait for it to come out.
Oh man, I'm a. Oh, I gotta make an announcement, but I'll make it later because I'm gonna throw a whole party for that. But
Yeah.
now I'm excited because what this book is going to do is going to plant seeds now,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to see the fruits years from now
Exactly.
with that shift, man. And it's important that we're doing it now. But I thank you, man. I appreciate you. I will be having you back on, ladies and gentlemen. This is my boy Ruben. He's doing incredible things in Atlantic County and just all over the place. very genuine guy, and he wrote some fire for this book. So make sure that you pre-order a copy of this book. The launch date will be, as of now, September 18th. But make sure you pre-order to get special offers. We're throwing some special things in there for you. And our mission is to have this book in the hands of 1,000 plus, Black boys. So even if you don't have a Black son or a son in general, buy it for somebody else. Buy it for somebody you know. Buy it for your husband. I don't care. Please support this mission so we can really make this thing happen. Because this is a resource and a guide that we need, especially during these times. So I appreciate y'all. Yo, Ruben, I appreciate you, man. Love you.
All right, thank you, bro. Love you too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You have a blessed day.
All right, you too.
All right, bro.